Hello?
Hi, may I speak to Hugette Hall, please?
This is she.
Hi, this is Glenn from Mack Painters.
Oh, hey. I was
Hey.
expecting you to try to sell me something.
Yeah, that's it. This is
Hey,
Glenn.
how are ya?
This is Glenn from your phone service, wondering if you're happy and you want to
Yes.
upgrade.
And you want to check about my cable line and
That's right.
my
Yeah,
home mortgage?
that's right. We got a special today.
Pick any of the below.
Yeah. Well, I Clifton said that you were sort of happy with the work that they did.
Yeah, very much so.
Okay. Do you want to tell me a little bit about it? Can you about what you had done and what impressed you about them?
They came, we had, well, let me back up. Our condo was built in 1999, and so the ceilings were popcorn spray painted, and we wanted to have that removed. So the unfortunate part is since we've owned the home, it's never been vacant. So we had to have the work done, with furnishings in it. Anyhow, so they came in last week, and a crew of 4 guys came in. And when I met with Clifton, which he was recommended to me by a realtor, although the realtor had never used him, she had clients that had recommended, had spoken highly of them. And so that's why I went with them. Come to find out, after I met with Clifton, someone who lives 2 houses over had used Mack and was happy. In fact, they wanted to give me their name. And I said, already have the estimate, so we're good.
That's funny.
And now pardon me?
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when they showed up on Monday, they said, oh, yeah, we did that house across the street a couple months ago. And I said, oh, we thought they had done it themselves. So we didn't even realize Mack was in that house across the street. So now you've got 4 condos, which now they're in the condo next to me, working in there. So you've got, 4 condos that didn't even have you got to use these guys connection, that we've all used the same guys.
Wow.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I guess they make a name for themselves, which is, impressive above their own, because bad news travels fast, as you well know. So anyhow, they came in that morning, and I've got 4 men in here, and I'm thinking, oh boy, here we go. I'm expecting a day full of F-bombs and mother effers and just typical is what I thought. Oh, no. I have 4 guys in here who are like singing, joking, and it's, colorful. Nothing uncomfortable for an owner to have to hear. They're singing, they're joking, I love yous are going back and forth. Oh, you're the best. Oh, that's why you're the boss. Just unbelievable, the camaraderie among these 4 guys working in here. As I said to Clifton, I said, now the mess they made, I said it's not that they made the mess, it's the job that's a mess. So it wasn't reflective of the work they were doing, but the place is a disaster. But it's the nature of the beast. So, but they tried to keep it as clean as they could. One morning, one of the guys came in and he saw my face. It was like day 3, and he saw my face, and the first words out of his mouth was, Mrs. Hall, I'm so sorry. And I didn't even realize my face was telling the story about how, oh, my God, how am I going to get beyond this point? So they were, happy to have them in my home, happy to recommend them 10 times over. The work that they did, if there was some flaws, which my husband is very particular about painting. He has a painting background himself, home painting background himself, so very specific, and he painted the walls in our condo. But anything that was pointed out to them, they made it right. And you can't, it might not have been perfect when they walked out, but they would come back and fix it and make it right. You just can't ask for better than that. They said they'd be here at 8 o'clock. They were here at 7:45.
Wow.
Repeatedly, everything they said they would do, they did. You can just feel the positive energy amongst the team when they're in here. They have a young, I'm going to call him an apprentice. I don't know what his role is, but they have a young man with them. the two of the older guys, you know, are mentoring him as best they can, and not just in the work, but in life lessons as well, which is, I said to Billy, one of the foremen, I said, you know, that's refreshing to me because as a grandma, we know that generation is coming up behind us. And if we don't teach them to be responsible adults, you know, who is?
Yeah.
So it's just, what a great crew. So, yeah.
That's awesome. Well, it sounds good.
So Clifton was happy to hear that, and he said, would you share it with Sean? I said, sure, I'd be happy to. So very respectful men, very respectful of my home. You know, what the nastiness that was done was just the nature of the beast. And as I said to Clifton, I said, that part, if you go back in and give somebody, he said, typically when we go in and do a deep popcorning, the place is empty. And I said, fine. I said, but if you go back in and someone has their household goods in there, you have got to be more frank and open and honest with them about the mess. You know, tell them, get a pod, put all your stuff in a pod, because what's left afterwards is just, ugh, it's every square inch, and I do not lie. As much as the guys tried to cover what they could cover, every square inch is covered in dust. So closets, I mean, even though they were open closets and they covered them with plastic, everything's coming out of the closet to be vacuumed, run through the machines or whatever, and dusted and put back in. I have an open mud room that has wine bottles in it. Well, it looks like it's a wine cellar because of all the dust that's on the bottles. And they had that covered, you know, and it was covered twice. It was covered by the end of the job where they were, and then they had covered it as well a second time. It's just the nature of the beast. So it's not reflective of the work or the workers. But, you know, I said, if you go back into someone who has their household goods in there, you've got to be more open and honest about the bloody mess it's going to make. So. Right. Yeah, and I said, just tell them, you know, tell them based on a client's input who had her household goods, she recommends you get a pod and put all your stuff in there, only for your sanity.
Right. Oh, I have a question. So what about like having the maid service come in after? Is that something that
I don't know. I mean, he had offered that, but again, it was like kind of in passing. You know, we do have a cleaning team that can come in and help you, or that can come in and do the work. And I went, oh, no, that's okay. I'll clean it myself, because that's why I live in a condo. I didn't want a house that was so big someone had to clean it for me. So I don't know how much cleaning they would have done. But the guys did. Now, the guys didn't walk away leaving the mess. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. No. So I'm not saying that the guys walked away leaving holy hell. That's not at all what I'm saying.
Okay, good.
They cleaned. Like. Yeah. No, the guys cleaned up after themselves. Yes, they do. But the nature of the beast is the fine dust that is on everything. There's no way those guys are going to take every bottle of wine out and dust them off and put them back.
Okay, so let's say
you know what I mean?
Yeah, sure. Let's say you and I are at a picnic and someone's saying, I'm thinking about getting the popcorn removed, and then you talk to them about Mack Painters, then I would assume you would tell them, hey, get a pod. But if they say, I don't want to spend that, well, then then you might want to get like a popcorn removal after clean by Mack Maids.
Yeah. But depending, definitely, because I would not. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, how much is a pod?
But I don't know what that is. I don't know what they do. You know, I don't know what the value is for the money that the cleaning team comes in here and does.
Well, they do the kind of job that Mack Painters does for painting, but for cleaning, so that when let's say you went away for the weekend and came back, you'd be like, I don't see any dust, I don't see any stuff, and everything's cleaned. You know, then, just like you would.
Brilliant. Go that way.
Right.
Yeah, go that way then. Definitely.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna take this and put it. We're gonna take this call, and I'm gonna take some sound bites from it and put it into video.
Sure.
And, we won't put your name or where you're at, but we'll have your voice telling them what a great job they did, and then if I need anything else, I'll give you a call But
sure.
But for now, I mean, thank you so much. I really appreciate the fact that because a lot of people like I watch all the marketing that goes on. So I watch all the clients talking to Mack Painters, Mack Maids, and all this stuff. And what's funny is that some people will say, I I got it. I have other people saying, "Oh, I hired painters and they never showed up. I hired painters and they were terrible. I had hired painters and they were messy," and all the things that you were talking about. Being really not professional in their behavior, and then there's other things where when people try to think, well, gosh, I could, do it myself, or I can go hire this other guy that seems pretty cheap. But he may not be bonded. He may not be professional. He may not have a team and have the full service that Mack Painters gives you for the same price.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. And then on the popcorn.
So yeah, I would never. I mean, Mack above anything and everything. I would not hesitate to call them again for anything, or recommend them for anything. I mean, truly.
Right.
I wish they did more than just paint and clean at the caliber of what they, of what they do. I wish that they were more infectious in their behavior with other people that around this area. So.
Right.
But yeah.
Well, good. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
all right.
Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. Have a good one.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thanks.
All right. Take care of you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.